Hi and welcome to another episode of ReaperTV. In this video we're going to be taking a look at a plugin from Joey Sturgis Studios. We're going to be taking a look at the Menace guitar tones. We're going to take a look at what it sounds like, the effects you can apply to it, and how it sounds standalone and in the mix. So let's take a look at that plugin right now. Okay, so what exactly is Menace from Joey Sturgis? Well, it's effectively a virtual guitar and bass rig designed to take all the way from direct input through to a completely sort of distorted sound. So in other words, it's very much the same kind of vein as Bias by Positive Grid, or Easy Mix, where you've got the Guitar Gods packs and things. But what it does give you is a lot more flexibility than the tune track options. So let's open up the interface, take a look at what we've got available to us, and then we'll take a little listen to some of the sounds. So if I open it up, you can see it's a pretty simple interface. We've got 5 different areas we can work with for our signal path. We've got an overdrive pedal, we've got the amp, we've got the signal path which takes us to the cab, we've then got an EQ, and finally we've got a limiter or compressor limiter. So if we take a look at the overdrive, you can see it's a typical overdrive. You can adjust the drive, the tone, and the gain. If we go to the amp, you can see we've got a normal EQ as well as gain structure and the output. We've also got a noise gate. We can control the input volume and the output volume, and we've also got a tuner. We've got a cab simulator, so we've got 4 different kinds of microphones we can use. Your condenser, a 421, a typical SM57 or an SM57 off-axis, running through a 412. We've got a 5-band parametric EQ where we can deal with sort of high-pass filters and shelf filters on the upper frequencies and the lower frequencies, as well as all the mid frequencies. And finally, we've got our compressor limiter, which we can use to adjust the threshold to smooth our tones out, and then we can bring back any lost levels by using the output. So let's take a listen to what the guitar sounds like on its own. So let me just solo this track. And we take a listen. It sounds pretty good. So let's just open one of the guitar tracks up, solo that out, and let's just loop that a second so we've got something to work with. And let's just adjust some of these parameters and see what they sound like. So let's go to the overdrive pedal first of all. So as you can see, you can get a nice little range of tones there. You can adjust your drive and your gain. And obviously this is working in conjunction with the amplifier. And if you want to disable that, you just simply double click. That takes that out of the signal path. Double click to bring it back in. We switch over to the amplifier. You can see we've got your typical gain, your EQ section, your presence and output. So again, let's just load that sound back up and let's edit some of this and see the different tones we can get from this. If you've got a specific value with any of these that you want to put in, you can just simply double click any of these control dials, and as you can see, you can manually input any of the figures. So if you know you want to adjust things and put them to a specific value, that's quick and easy. Next one we've got is the actual 412 cab with the range of different microphones. So let's just take a listen to that with the same sample. So you can see it gives you quite a range of sounds. Now, you can't adjust the position of any of the speakers in relation to the cabs. You can't adjust the distance. You can't adjust the positioning. You know, so you're kind of limited to one of the 4 options there, but they're pretty versatile. For me, I tend to find the condenser mic gives the best overall sound, but obviously it's the kind of thing you're going for. So the next thing we've got is the actual parametric EQ. So let's just take a quick look at that and see how that affects the sounds. Okay, so you can see you can quickly and easily start scoping the different frequency ranges to find anything that doesn't sound good in your tone. You can hit a high pass filter if you want to cut out any sort of sub bass frequencies, you know, sort of 50 hertz and lower. And you do the same kind of thing with the high frequencies. You can use a low pass filter, or you can use a shelf. You know, there's a fair bit of control over this. It's pretty decent parametric EQ, to be honest. And finally, we've got the compressor limiter. So let's take a listen to that. So a pretty good limiter. It allows you to sort of smooth your sounds out, and then you can compensate for any loss or increase in volume by using the output option on the right hand side. You know, it's pretty versatile. Now this is kind of geared primarily towards sort of rock, metal, you know, sort of that kind of genre. So if you're looking for something a bit more subtle, shall we say, this probably isn't going to be the best plug-in for you. But if you are looking for that kind of tone, it's definitely a great sort of piece of software. Now, I've used it to replace some of the easy mix tones that I was using in a song, and one of the things that I found with this is that it does seem to introduce a lot more background noise into your recording, so something to be aware of. You may find you get some ambient noise that you might need to cancel out. And I've got a video on how you can cancel these kind of sounds out. I'll link to that in the description below, just so you can sort of see that. So if you want to use this and you kind of find you get a little bit of background noise, you know, you can kind of clean that up. Well, overall, I got to be honest, for the amount of money that they're charging for this, I'd say it's definitely a great plugin, a great sort of add-on to your arsenal. If you don't have the money to shell out for something like Bias or Bias Effects, this is going to give you a great quick way of getting some good tones with the benefit of having the built-in limiter and EQ. You don't have a huge range of options when it comes to the mic or mic placement, but what they do have there is still pretty good quality. It's going to give you the kind of tones that you're looking for. You know, overall, give it a try. It's worth the money. It's not going to break the bank, and yeah, it's a good piece of software. So if you found this quick guide useful, please hit the subscribe button below. If you've got any comments, questions, or feedback on this or anything else we cover on this channel, please pop those in the comment section below. And remember, we release new videos every Friday, so make sure you subscribe to be kept up to date when all our new content is released. If you want more exclusive content, just check out www.reapertv.co.uk. Well, until next time, happy mixing.